that's what we're trying to do, but honestly, it's impossible.
Tony Stark
able to
built us in a cave with a box of scraps. And welcome to Peak Cinema. I'm your host, Tony, and this is
Austin,
also known as Warmonger, and I'm Iron Man. And today, we are talking about Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Obadiah?
It is. I'd also like to give a brief and momentary shout out to Women's Awareness Month, which is this month of March that we're in right now. Mm-hmm. It is Women's Awareness Month. Here at Peak Cinema.
Shout out Mom and my sister.
We are very aware of women at this studio. Are you aware of women, Tony? Name a couple women, Tony.
My mom.
Yeah.
My sister.
What's the third one? And it's Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
We're here with the Marvel episode. This is Marvel for the girls. Okay. Yo, Tony, you don't gotta think that hard about
I'm
this.
really thinking about this.
Like, there's a lot.
Black Widow.
That's the same person. That's the same one.
God damn it.
You could have said Harriet Tubman.
I don't know. Who is it?
Who is Harriet Tubman? Okay.
Anyways,
fuck this.
Phase 1 of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also known as
You
the
said,
Phase
who is
1.
Harriet Tubman?
The start of the MCU as we know it is today.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What?
No, it's just like that's remote.
Jess.
Stop, bro. I just realized you were naming women again. Stop naming women.
Val.
It is clear you don't know a lot of women.
Mia. Behind the camera.
You're just listing the shout out cast members.
Shout out the people that work on this podcast.
I can list things too.
My grandma.
Mrs. Butterworth. Come on, bro.
Sorry.
I can't.
Catwoman.
Yeah, now we're on to Marvel characters again.
Sorry. That was a DC character, actually. Okay. Idiot.
Selena
Wrong
Kyle.
episode.
Selena Kyle.
Wrong character. That's still Catwoman. Who did it now?
We can. Oh. So, Tony.
Austin.
We're getting off track.
We are. Sorry, Obadiah.
We're getting too aware of women.
We are.
We gotta dial it back.
We
just
love
like,
them. I love you, women.
Yeah, we love you. We love you. Very aware.
Very.
Very aware. You know, and this is a transition onto Marvel, and
supernaturally from women into Iron Man 1, which came out in 2008.
Yeah, which
God, I love that movie.
Yeah, surprisingly was like. I think one of my hot takes about the MCU is that it was the first movie in the MCU, and
you think so?
Yeah, I think the Incredible Hulk was a misstep for a reason. People try to go back on that movie and say it was good. It was not.
It was not good. Can I be honest with you? Iron Man 1 might be my favorite Marvel movie.
And I don't think that's too ridiculous. As long as you said that you liked First Avengers as your favorite Captain America movie as well.
Yes, right? And so what?
No, I'm just saying it's like a genre of like that time in it was a different time.
It really was a different time.
Much more realism.
Much more. Oh yeah, like when Tony Stark was in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah, bro.
Know?
He did a lot in that cave with a box of scraps.
He did a lot in that cave with a box of scraps. Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah, he scrapped in a box until he built an Iron Man.
I know, right?
It was pretty cool.
I love that movie but like that movie's like serious. Like he's like a weapons like a distributor who makes and sells weapons to the U.S. military, and then national terrorists get their grubby little mitts on those weapons, and then lock him in then he becomes a POW for a bit. And then has to be in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah.
And then he fights his way out with that German doctor. Remember him?
I liked the German doctor.
The German doctor was sick. Remember he sacrificed himself?
He did.
I remember the big reveal that his wife and kids were dead the whole time.
Nope. I don't remember that reveal.
Never mind. That's a great movie.
But like
I don't know what I'm doing after this.
No, Iron Man was a great movie. It's also just completely different. Like if you're gonna compare it to from where we started to where we are now, it's completely Phase 1 is a different
like
genre.
If you take like Iron Man 1 for example and compare it to like Endgame, wow.
Yeah.
How did we get here? Because these are like sure it's in the realm of like fantasy, heightened realism some might say, because like the arc reactor being like this big, some shit like that, or like the big like Metal Man suits and he's like shooting everything, shit like that, or like flying to space with the Mark III suit.
Yeah.
Versus like,
Nanotech.
in Nanotech Endgame, they're fighting on the planet Titan. Thanos is there, and he has his whole army of little alien dudes. He got all like this big crossover. Like, that is more like, that's something completely different else.
It's
this
something.
But this is like I remember watching Iron Man as a kid, and I first saw it, I thought it was real.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Robert Downey Jr. was actually named Tony Stark. I thought there's actually someone named Iron Man.
Bro, it's something a lot of people miss. Like, a lot of people miss that. It's just like everything was like tactile. It felt way more grounded.
Yeah.
Way more grounded. Like you said, like Iron Man felt like Tony Stark, but that was real. Like, you actually felt that was a thing. I feel like now, not only are like origin stories really played out.
They're so played out, and they're so buns.
Yeah.
My grandma gave me these magic bracelets, and now I have superpowers.
Yeah. But
Fuck you.
It was also like just enough of it.
Don't shake your head at me.
It was just enough of like comic accuracy as well, kind of.
Yeah.
Where it was definitely.
It was because, do you know what it is? A lot of it too plays into the time of things.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. The original Iron Man came out during the Vietnam War, so the original Iron Man was a POW in Vietnam.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that at all.
Yeah. But then when they revamped it, they were like, oh, the war on terror is happening right now. Let's modernize it,
Oh, you were talking about the original, like the
comic book Iron Man.
I thought you were talking about the movie, and I was like, why is every Vietnam veteran I've ever seen like 80 years old? That shit happened in 2008?
No, not that.
I was like, that shit, that aged them up like crazy if that happened in 2008.
The CGI was just really good.
Yeah, like,
it was really good at 2008, and then just took a huge dip.
Like, no, that's cool. I didn't know that's why they changed it a little bit.
Yeah. A lot of things are like that. Like, I took a whole class on about how when you take like the mystical aspect out of something, then you learn what like the real message is like behind, like horror movies.
Yeah.
When you take out the monster, then you see the real horror in the movie.
Yeah.
I
don't know if you have like an example of this.
You could use like, I don't know, Saw.
So what's the deal with that?
If you take all the traps and shit out of Saw, the whole thing behind it is like the heightened and like gore and violence that was really like pushed in America at the time, because that was the early 2000s. Think about it. You had like MTV.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Like Michael Myers. If you take Michael Myers out of Halloween, then it's a story about a broken, kid with a lot of mental issues. Right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about that. Now, Austin, did you watch these movies when they came out, or were you a soy boy weirdo and watched them in Disney Plus in 2020?
No, as they rolled out.
Exactly.
As they rolled out.
I remember being a little fat kid walking into the theaters for Iron Man 3 with my Iron Man 3 popcorn bucket.
Dude, I can do you one better. I was there with like Incredible Hulk.
Damn.
I remember Incredible Hulk in 2008 coming out because my mom, shout out mom, is
shout out women.
Women Awareness Month.
We're
back on women.
Shout out Trish. I love you, Mom.
Anyways,
She's gonna love that.
She's gonna love that.
Yeah.
So like, I remember she was sick as hell, and it was on the TV, and we were on like
on the telly.
On the telly. They had Cartoon Network or some bullshit, and it was doing reruns, and Incredible Hulk was on, and it was the first superhero movie I ever saw was Incredible Hulk. I was like, I had to be 5 years old, and it was like doing like reruns on television. And then I saw that. And then I saw Iron Man 1. And then years later, people told me that, like, Incredible Hulk was a part of that universe. And I was like, yo, really?
They're like, no.
Like, really? Because, like, it's not even really, if you watch from Avengers on, like, Hulk's entire story is fine. It's really on top.
I feel like Hulk's story was done so dirty.
It was.
Because the whole idea of Hulk is, like, if you take Hulk out of it, it's a story about someone with a multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
Who's severely depressed and struggles a lot with like their mental psyche.
Yeah. And instead of
but then you had a big green man to it.
Yeah. And it's like instead of like doing anything to it, everyone just makes it worse all the time, constantly. Because they just
like that's the whole point of Hulk, But they just glazed over. But that's the whole thing that makes Hulk Hulk.
Yeah. It didn't
the mental battle.
It was a big misstep.
Exactly. And now we got Smart Hulk in his sweat. Like Smart Hulk wears this exact sweater. Like he wears this exact sweater. He's like, I made eggs. Do you want? He hands Ant-Man the taco. He's like,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
put
about.
that picture. He's like,
I hate how they did that.
that was so stupid.
Because they didn't even explain it. He didn't have any art.
No, what do you mean he did? It was just off screen.
Yeah, no, bro, that shit's dumb. That was
so
dumb.
Stupid. I hated it.
And
then they traveled back in time. He's like, I really gotta smash cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Wah, psh, psh. That's not fun.
That was dumb.
I want the big green man jumping around like in Avengers 1. What was that, 2012?
It was 2012 or 2011, I think.
No, 2012.
2012. Yeah, so I think that's
a
a
great
kind of an
movie.
important point too. Is there were characters that could have gotten sequels, but instead Thor got 4 sequels.
All right, Thor: The Dark World cured my amnesia.
The Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World, the movie.
That cured your amnesia.
That movie is so boring. It is such a slog.
Okay, how's that cure your amnesia, bro?
It's so fucking boring. 5 minutes, I'm like, wow.
Bro, you mean insomnia?
Insomnia,
Dumbass.
not amnesia.
Yo,
That's a great game, though.
Yeah, that was a great game. I was like, you remembered again? Like, what? Like, that was... I don't remember shit from that movie.
I remembered more. No, Insomnia. Thank you.
Yeah, Thor: The
Austin.
Dark World was
So buns.
awesome.
All you gotta learn is that they got the Reality Stone, but it's a liquid for some reason.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do, because they had to break it down, and then they had to rewrite that later.
Let me break it down for
fucked
you.
It was. Yeah.
Did breakdancing.
Phase 1 was like, it was just a different time.
Now, do you think that these movies still hold up today, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, absolutely.
I think they hold up better than most other phases.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would so much rather watch Thor: The Dark World than watch She-Hulk.
Whoa.
Yep.
hold
No,
on.
I'll
Come
die on that hill.
Come on.
I'll die on that hill.
That movie sucks.
I will die on that hill.
At least She-Hulk is like...
No,
fun.
She-Hulk is 6 hours long in total, or more. 6 hours plus. You know.
Purely off length. In Women's Awareness Month, you drag on She-Hulk in Women's Awareness Month.
Get that camera off me! Get these lights off!
unaware!
It's heresy, hearsay. I said no such thing.
Come on,
Don't
do better. Do better.
All right, fine. I would rather watch.
I'd watch She-Hulk. I'd watch She-Hulk.
I would rather watch Black Widow than watch.
I'd
Thor:
probably
The
watch
Dark
She-Hulk
World.
maybe twice back to back. And I'm 6'2".
God, Austin, I think is that your feminist literature you dropped?
Yo, what is that?
Oh, by the way, I saw you in the gym. Your 6-pack's looking great, bro.
Thanks, brother. Of
course, man.
I got it because like being a firefighter is just tough.
I know.
These days.
I saw you gave your Lambo to the orphanage down the street.
Yeah,
yeah,
they needed it. They needed it.
such a caring dude.
Cars for Kids. Cars for Kids is the charity. What else should we give like orphans, like homeless orphans? I'm trying to think of one other thing I can give them, and maybe cars, maybe like snacks.
I wonder what. Yeah, we should give some snacks.
Give them some, just anything edible because they can use food. They can
really,
use food.
yeah, because they're starving. Anyways,
That's what being a hero is about.
That's what being a hero is about.
It's about saving the little guy, and that was something that actually used to happen.
That's what he said in Captain America: First Avenger, which is also a part of Phase 1 Marvel.
Yeah, he saves the little guy.
It's about sticking up for the little guy because he was the little guy.
I liked how a lot of the characters. This was always one of my favorite tropes whenever this happens. Which doesn't happen a lot, but I like when there's like 5 relatively normal characters and then just like a god. Like I think that's cool.
When there's just a god.
Like in Phase 1, you had Iron Man, which is just sort of a dude in a suit. Let's be honest. Like it's a good suit.
It's literally a great suit, but just a dude in a suit. No, you're right.
Captain America is just a dude who's a little strong, a little fast.
You have Hawkeye.
Who's
Just a bow and arrow.
He's the GOAT though. He's the GOAT.
Hawkeye
is the GOAT.
Hawkeye
He's
is
probably one of the
great.
best characters in the entire
His
Phase 1.
suit, great.
Banger.
Jeremy Renner? Reiner? How do you say it?
Jeremy Renner.
Banger. I love
We
that
have someone
guy.
off camera who has the Jeremy Renner app, and
Yeah.
she's
Dude,
doom
he's like-
scrolls.
he's
Like
like,
it's Instagram Reels. Doom scrolls that shit.
And he takes it by. He's like.
And then he jumps off the building in one scene. He does the fucking grapple hook onto the building. And
Yeah.
he swings. That is the coolest. And I think unanimously, Hawkeye is probably
The
most
only
favorite
thing I
anyone.
liked about the Hawkeye show was when they called back in the beginning, in the first episode to the Avengers
Yeah,
movie.
that was really cool.
Then I stopped caring.
Well, there was also...
And they brought Kingpin back, and I was excited for like 5 minutes. Then I stopped caring again.
I bring this up a lot, but I really liked how in Hawkeye, like the show, they also like explain his hearing aid, which I just like
I
battle
love
damage.
that. Yeah.
Like that just makes sense because he's
that
just
was
a dude.
great. He's just a guy.
So like of course like seeing shit blow up and getting life-ending pain like once a week is not fun.
Yeah, no. Oh wait, another thing. Black Widow. That's just like
Just a normal person.
that's just a normal person.
She's really
She's
like,
sick
good at fighting, but
then you do have Hulk though. That's just
yeah, but like that's what I mean. It's like you got Hulk and Thor, and then like 4 regular people. Like
4 just dudes.
Like,
we're just bros.
that just happens.
They hang out. They go get shawarma after.
Yeah, but it really felt like it was a different team.
I know. Whereas compared to now, you have so many of these wacky, zany characters, like Moon Knight and the Gentlemanly Ghost.
Yeah, but Gentleman, he got an MCU?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's DC. I just love Gentlemanly Ghost though.
I
That's
didn't
my
know
favorite
that was yeah.
That's my favorite DC character.
Is that the one that's like he's not there, but he's got the white suit and the monocle?
Yeah, and the top hat.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
And he's
about.
like, "Oh, Batman! I'm going to rob this bank!" Ha ha!
That's cool,
And then
dude.
Batman's just like, "Okay, dude."
That's cool, bro.
Yeah, he's like a little goober. I love the gent. Nah, we're not talking about Gentlemanly Ghost today, though. We keep getting sidetracked.
No, but like I liked the old team, and that's not even.
I love the old team.
I just don't think there should be a. I don't like the Avengers being an escalated like thing. Like I think the Avengers after Avengers Endgame are dead. New teams can form. Like we can have the
I
Thunderbolts
agree.
and everything like
Yeah.
that. But like the founding fathers are gone.
Let him rest, bro.
Black Widow's gone.
Yeah.
Iron Man is gone. Captain America's gone.
Gone.
Hulk.
Kind of there,
Yeah,
a
he's
little bit.
Come on, bro. Like,
with the
barely.
son with the bougie fade.
Yeah, and then
Scar.
Oh god, his son has a bougie fade now. But it's just like back then it was amazing. It was fresh. I wish that there was a team composition like that. But
Like-
now there's so many higher powers.
Everything now just feels like a run-on or a continuation in some way. You know, none of it feels original or fresh. I feel like a little bit of that is fatigue, but it's also partly the writing.
Yeah.
Because take like the story again of like Iron Man 1. You know, the writing was so good. The
Yeah.
story felt so grounded, so real. There was comedy in it. I laughed. I cried. You know.
Yeah.
But then you
He's
take.
just a family guy, really.
I'm just a
He's
fam-
just a
I'm
family
just
guy.
a family guy. But now you got shit like, you know, The Flush. That's DC still, but
Bro, what is up with you bringing up DC shit?
I don't know. I don't know why I keep bringing up DC today. It's a very non-DC episode. I'm very sorry, folks at home. But yeah, I feel like Phase 1, though, like, you can't capture that magic again. Or even just Phase, like, I think even, like, throughout the MCU, like, it kind of, like, it got more into the realm of, like, fantasy. Like, this is, like,
Yeah, you're
real
completely
comic
right.
book. Yeah.
Like
you
your
know?
point where like when you took away the fantasy from these movies, it becomes something else. If you literally cannot separate it
Yeah.
anymore.
Like what's it called? Like Captain America: The First Avenger. When you take out the super, like the super.
Yeah,
whatever,
Super Serum and Red
the
Skull.
Super Serum Red Skull. Dude, that's just a war movie. That's a World War II war movie about the USA fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
Literally, you know?
Yeah.
Or like Hulk. That's also another war movie, kind of. I don't really remember the Hulk. And it was kind of mid.
Hulk is kind of messy. I forget the plot of it a lot too.
Yeah.
I think it's just.
Or with Thor, though, you take someone who's in a new world trying to understand like what it is to be in a new place like this. You know, that's what a lot of the movie is. And then you have that weird destroyer armor for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Natalie Portman's there for some.
Natalie Portman was there. Characters. Oh, that's your 10th woman.
Yay! Yay! Okay.
We no, but a lot of those old movies, like the characters were strong too. You think about Tony Stark, Pepper Potts,
Oh yeah.
Really
Even
strong.
Pepper Pot. 11. Pepper Potts.
Peggy Carter, 12.
Peggy Carter, you know. But like even like Pepper Potts was such an important character to Iron Man. She played such a huge. Even Rhodey. What was the name of the original Rhodey before it was Don Cheadle?
God, we did this before.
We
There's
literally
another
did
Rhodey
this before.
Don Cheadle.
It was.
I always forget that it wasn't always Don Cheadle. We're getting signed. Starts with an O. It's 5 letters. 2 words.
2 words, 5 letters.
Rhymes with. Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Who is Terrence Howard?
That's the original War Machine.
Do I know
was
him from
the War
anything
Machine.
else?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
No, yeah.
Dude, if I was him, I'd be so pissed.
I fucking love Don Cheadle though.
I
self-inserted Don Cheadle in that first movie. Don Cheadle was fucking awesome.
I
bro.
love Don Cheadle.
He was great.
I always forget Terrence Howard's in that movie and dude, it's so sad too. He looks at the Mark II armor, which goes on to inspire War Machine, because that's the silver look, and he looks and he goes, "Next time." He got no next time.
Yeah, he got no next time.
I would have been, if I worked on the set of Iron Man, I would have worn that suit at least once.
So
100%.
I think another thing that I want to bring up about the original Phase 1.
What do you want to bring up?
It's that, like, I think it was very clearly planned. Like,
It was
supposed to be, how many movies was it? 5?
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be, technically 6 if you count Incredible Hulk, I think. But however many it was very obvious from
6
Iron
including
Man
Avengers.
1. It was very obvious from Iron Man 1 that it was like, oh, we're putting together a team. Who's in the team? Captain America comes out. Like, if those movies bombed, I think those movies still would have came out.
Yeah.
Like, we still would have gotten those 6, which is really ambitious.
Do you know what's fascinating too? These were not like household like comic book characters at the time.
Oh, not at all.
These were D-listers. The Avengers were considered D-listers before these movies came out.
Dude.
Which I found very interesting.
Yeah, the top 3, the only person, I mean, Incredible Hulk was the first movie, because if you thought of Marvel characters, asked anyone, it was Hulk, Wolverine, and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Or like the Fantastic Four was huge too.
Or Fantastic Four.
Or Batman.
Yeah, or
Superman.
Gentlemanly Ghost.
The Gentlemanly
was
Ghost.
huge in
Polka Dot
households.
Man.
They had a lot of those. They had
Condiment
Killer Moth.
Condiment King.
Condiment King.
Yep.
Yep. Man Bat.
Oh, Eggman.
Eggman.
That's a real guy.
Big Wheel.
Big Wheel. Shout out Big Wheel.
Shout out Big Wheel.
Shout out Big Wheel.
All of these are household classics.
Kite Man.
Yeah, Kite Man's classic. You know, we're thinking
Everyone
about
knew
some
these.
classics.
And then back in 2008, you're like, who's this Iron Man?
Yeah, like, what's he
What did he do? Iron his clothes?
Pretty fucking boring, if you ask me.
Thor? Yeah, where's Ragnarok?
Captain
that was a movie.
Yeah, bro.
I forgot about that.
Captain America, you know, that was...
Captain America? You mean Uncle Sam? Sure.
I'm really surprised that they put Captain America or Iron Man in like... I feel like they had to if they chose to do Avengers. At the same time, though, I'm really surprised Captain America became as big as he did, because I would have thought that it would have excluded a ton of markets.
No way. I feel like people would love a Captain America.
Overseas, though.
Ooh, that is true.
Because this movie, like, we're talking about, this is from a company that later in their lifespan will care so much about overseas markets that they will change storylines because of it.
To be quite honest, though, like, the company that I feel like, it was Disney that made these movies way back when, yes?
I don't think it was Disney.
No, it was Fox.
It was...
Yeah,
it was Fox.
Because, like, well, you got to think about the market back in, like, the early 2000s, like 2010s. Things were so much different than they were today, you know?
Yeah.
People, I feel like, were a lot more, like everything felt new. Everything felt fresh. Everything was a new idea. Everything was so genuine. So much heart and soul was put into it. Now you have AI scripts for the Thunderbolts. I believe it.
AI intro for Secret Invasion. That existed. It was an AI visual intro.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like, it's not even like they're pretending.
Disney has fully shelled out now when it comes to Marvel. Fully shelled out. Same with... did you see Kathleen Kennedy finally step down at Lucasfilm?
I didn't. You must be happy.
I reposted on my story saying, fuck you, finally.
It's like when Margaret Thatcher died. It's like...
Yeah. No, but like the companies that make these movies now are just so much different, and the state of the world is so much different, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about these movies anyways. That's why they hold such a special place in my heart, because it's like almost a time capsule in some way.
Yeah.
When you see Tony Stank pull out his BlackBerry, I'm like, oh
my God, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many dated things. Like,
Yeah,
when you
right?
look back at it.
Yeah.
I think that if there was the same way that when I was a child, my dad came up to me and he was like, son, you're going to watch all 6 Star Wars movies right now. Mm-hmm. I think at one point in my child's life, I'm going to sit him in front of a TV and put on Iron Man 1, and I'm gonna be like, you're watching this, and afterwards we're gonna have a quiz on it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. And if they fail the quiz, they will have to watch Miss Marvel.
They'll have to watch She-Hulk.
They'll have to watch all of
these are
Thunderbolts.
2 women superheroes that are great.
My bad. I'm thinking, what is a really shitty Marvel property? There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And what else? Wait, name me a few.
Agatha. Fuck.
Asshole.
I don't like Agatha at all. I think she's
Falcon
lame.
and Winter Soldier.
I know people like Agatha.
You need to do better, Senator. Agatha's lame. I didn't even watch Agatha.
She is lame as hell. See, this is what we're talking about. It's not our fault. Marvel mishandled women so badly for so long.
For context, we have a woman on set saying She-Hulk sucks. That's all I'm going to say.
The majority of us do appreciate women.
The majority of us, but someone
doesn't appreciate women.
Does not appreciate women.
Yeah, we might. No, we're gonna have to talk about that afterwards.
Someone's
HR.
Someone's fired.
I like how that's our boss.
That's
technically.
our boss.
Like we don't make that call.
Yeah, no, this is our Austin. This is our last episode. Yeah,
they're trying to do they're trying to turn it over.
Yeah, no, it was fun while it lasted.
Homophobic is Agatha gay? Homophobic for hating Agatha? She's gay?
She is.
When does that happen? She comes out and she's like, I'm doing magic. Expelliarmus. Also, I like box. And then it's like, what are we talking about? When does that happen? Did I miss that? Did her and Wanda kiss? What happened? I thought she was...
Yes, bro! You didn't see that in Phase 6, Episode 3, timestamp number 32?
She and Aubrey Plaza are in love. There is no way Aubrey Plaza is in the MCU.
Are we?
There's no way Aubrey Plaza is in the MCU.
No, she's not.
As what character?
You're joking.
We're going to offset this time.
Wait, okay. Who's Aubrey Plaza in the MCU? No, genuinely.
She plays Death? Death is a character and it didn't exist during Infinity War? What was the point? Why is Death... The whole point of Thanos, if you don't know, is that he's trying to impress Lady Death. She's a character and she's played by Aubrey Plaza and they waited till after Thanos to bring her in?
And they're in love?
She's gay now. That's the point? That's the point? Why? Why is that the point? She kisses Agatha? I don't... Like, why? Her and Agatha raise a child together. What? Okay, fuck that. No, that's not real. We're getting fed AI script. That is an AI script. No one understood who Death was.
I'm not looking anymore. I don't want to look.
So that was the spell? Was Death impregnates Agatha? And then
no, Agatha impregnates Death.
It was? That was a spell? And they spent 9 months together? Are we dead ass? Why would you magic spell?
Are we dead ass?
Why would you magic spell to get pregnant? Why wouldn't you want to be post the birth? Why do you want to still give birth? If you can do magic and make a child with a figure of death, why would you not just make the kid?
You're joking. That's not what this show's about.
Wanda just made the kid.
No, you're joking.
Wanda just made the kid.
You're joking. That's not what this show's actually
We
about.
watched the birth on screen.
No. What?
Death killed their child?
What?
You see her dilate in a face on screen? You see a water birth?
Are you serious? Was it a water birth?
It was.
It was?
No, this is live.
Was she in a tub?
Yo, editor, put a picture of water birth on screen.
Do not
in a lake. It was in a lake. Oh my god, when did we lose the plot? When did we lose the plot?
She was in the forest in a lake.
Yo, thank God Women's Awareness Month is not also LGBTQ plus Awareness Month, because this is getting taken off air because we already dismissed women. This is bad. We're on bad standards with the world. The world we ought to somehow pull this back.
Who okayed this? Who wrote that script and like this? This is good.
What relation do the two characters have to each other?
None!
Why does Agatha have death?
They don't.
Well, clearly they do. They had a kid together.
Well, clearly now they do.
I don't know what the kid's name was. It was probably some bullshit, bro. That kid was named bullshit.
You know that kid's name was like Glimbus Bimbus.
It was Charlie Pibbles, bro. Like there's no way.
Glork Shadow.
That was awful.
No. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the Marvel that I love. This shit is lit. This shit was awesome. This shit didn't have weird...
I will put $100 down if Death, her kid, or Agatha are in any future project. I will put like $100 down that they become important.
Well, maybe not actually.
Why would that become important? Why would they be like
For the next spin-off movie with Wong?
When Wong comes in?
Well, Agatha's gonna be in
Wanda's. Okay.
I thought she died!
Who died?
Oh my god.
Nicholas Scratch.
It's a boy.
Okay.
Its name is Nicholas Scratch.
He's gonna grow up to be Mr. Scratch one day.
Okay.
Agatha Harkness raises a Chris Scratch, a Nicholas Scratch. Where'd they get the last name?
Yeah, wait, where the fuck did his last name come from?
My name is Death Scratch.
If Thanos hears it, he's like, fuck.
Yeah, come on.
That's so good. Austin, I think we should wrap it up on the note that Marvel Phase 1 was beyond peak.
It was. I think in general, the quality of movies
dipped so bad.
It dipped. And not because some of the new movies, I would say, are objectively better. Mm-hmm. But back then, they had more character. There was more spirit.
There's just, like, these movies back then felt like there was so much heart put into it. It didn't feel like a huge green screen. And Paul Rudd's like, I'm gonna step on you. I'm Giant Man.
All of them were filmed on location because they didn't have to worry about leakers.
Exactly. They were actually filmed on location. There was not a huge essence of CGI and green screen and stuff. Agatha's all practical effects. I don't care. I don't care if it is.
Fuck the Agatha show.
Fuck the Agatha show.
Yeah, fuck. That's what she is.
Not me. I didn't say anything, asshole.
I did.
I know you did. I didn't.
Well, you have to pay.
I'm sitting here and laughing.
Wait, this is done. We're out.
Okay.
Goodbye. Peak Cinema. Have fun. Good weekend.